Guru Nation, welcome back to another episode of Random Musings from the Clinical Trials Guru, outside of yet another conference.
We have curious onlookers.
I am Dan Sfera. This is Chris Sauber. We are shooting in front of Petco Park, my third favorite baseball team.
Convention Center and Petco Field, right?
My third favorite baseball
Park or
team,
field?
Anaheim Angels, LA Dodgers kind of second, and then Padres third. But the Padres are becoming my second favorite team.
I have a question you're not answering.
Okay, what?
Park or field? That was
Petco
Field.
Park.
Park?
Yes. So we're here for a conference, a specialty conference for gastro type of conditions.
Yeah.
We're working on some stuff for DSC CRO. Next month we're going to be here again for DIA 2019.
What's
We're
DIA
actually
stand for again?
Drug Information Association. We're going to have a booth for the first time in our young startups history.
Yeah.
We're going to have a booth. We got to get some marketing materials. Monica's going to have to cover for us one day.
I don't know.
Do you plan on being here all 4 days next time?
Depends on the 4 days.
Okay, for me too. Monica, if you're watching or listening, you might have to do most of the conference. So
If
Chris,
there's a Monday, Monica can do Monday.
let's do a quick one. We shot a lot of content with Dr. Hazen, who's a fantastic level 4 researcher.
What do you mean by level 4? I meant to ask you this and I forgot.
Yeah. Actually, our webinar,
So, what's the maximum level? And
4
4's maximum.
so far.
Okay.
I've just come up with this recently.
This,
all right.
This is your own platform?
Yeah, I think I'm going to trademark it or whatever you can do. I'm going to talk to Rick Henry about
level
it.
1.
Level 1 is a physician, and this is the 4 levels for physicians.
Okay, so level 1 is what?
Level 1 is the physician who has a private practice or maybe doesn't and is thinking about doing research.
So
That's level
They're
1.
basically just a clinician.
Yeah, like, and they could even be a sub-I or like someone who's like now wants to be a PI. Okay, in any setting, preferably in the private industry setting.
They see patients in a clinic setting.
Correct.
Okay, so that's no research. So I would assume level 2 is now they're delving into research.
Now they're delving into research. They're starting to do studies, private or academic. It doesn't matter. All right. Level 3 is where they start diversifying and having other physicians join them and do studies for them, but while it's still for their company.
So it's kind of like an investigator-initiated trial, or what?
No. Investigator-initiated trial, that is part of level 3 also, but like level 1 is like, okay, let me think about getting into research. Okay, now I'm starting to do research.
No, I get it. I have a database. I see patients.
Yes.
I'm not doing research yet.
Level 2...
doing research.
Level 2 is I'm doing research, and not only that, but I'm bringing other doctors to join me so that we can do more than just what I'm capable of doing.
Okay, so
Like if I'm a gastroenterologist but I want to do psych, I'm bringing in psychiatrists to do studies with me.
Okay, so then what's level 3?
Level 3 is I'm writing my own protocols like IITs, investigator-initiated studies, while I'm maintaining all the other stuff I just talked about. All right. Level 4 is you're actually the sponsor, like you're creating an IP, which is not in this case not an investigational product but intellectual property.
Okay.
These are the 4 levels I think is like a roadmap for physicians thinking of getting into research.
Got it.
What do you think about this?
Sure. I could see that. Where would a medical monitor fit in all of that? Like level 3?
They're not even at level 1. They haven't done
No, like if they had a site and all of that, but now they're a medical monitor in the industry.
Well, so let's say they got to level 2 and now they're not in any level. Unless their company's functioning without them.
Yeah. Functioning without them.
Okay, then they're at level 2.
Level 2.
Yeah. The next step, write your own protocol.
The
next step,
medical monitor does often do that, or is involved in that process.
but is it their study? Are they sponsoring it?
No.
That's the key differentiator. Loving the military vibe here in San Diego with the choppers, the attack choppers.
Yeah, we might get shot.
Chris, always the alarmist. So what do you think? This is our May webinar is going to be on the 4 levels of physician researchers.
Yeah, not a bad webinar. I don't think it's diversified enough. I think we're only going to attract pretty much physicians.
That's the point for this
That's the
particular
point,
thing.
I guess that's a good thing.
No. Well, here's actually, no, it's not. You're wrong.
Okay, I love being wrong.
What do we tell, with our interviews even with Dr. Hazen, what do we tell prospective site owners? The first video we did today, me and you, we said stop wasting your time on dumb stuff as a study coordinator that is opening their own site, or a CRA that's opening their own site. Forget about a website and a logo and all that stuff. Those are important, but get a doctor.
You get a PI.
How do you get a doctor?
Yeah,
it's a sales pitch, right? You got to sell the doctor the dream. How do you sell them the dream if you don't know the dream? The dream is level 4. Or maybe a doctor only wants to be level 2.
See, selling a dream is a little different than that, in my opinion. It's first you have to understand what they want to be able to sell them something.
That's right, but how, like...
You got to meet their needs and wants.
Okay, but would it not be helpful if you knew the 4 levels and figure out what they want? And okay, you doctor, sounds like you want to be a level 2, and here's what that means.
Yeah, you could take that approach, sure.
Or it sounds like you just want to be level 1. That's perfect. Like, we have a place for you.
Sure.
So it is important for even non-physicians.
Okay. All right. Okay.
But I wanted to talk about conferences, because now we're going to have a booth next month. We're going to do podcasts and videos from that booth. The true value of conferences, ranging from, we're at a big conference, right? And DIA is a huge conference. I think each conference has different value. All of them are integrated with networking. What's the biggest value from this conference, do you think?
From DIA or this one?
This one.
I have no idea what the biggest value is here. Really, in my opinion, to our companies, I think the biggest value to us will be twofold, right? Being able to sell our business, right? To sell our capabilities. And 2, to really see the inside workings of a conference, because I've never really attended one. I don't know if you have either.
Yeah, I've attended conferences.
Okay, well, you've never looked at it from the perspective of I'm going to put on a conference, and how does this materialize, right? So that also gives us the opportunity to do that as well.
Correct. So I think conferences are good for sites, entrepreneurs, CROs, even CRAs. Like if you were a CRA and you came here, you can network with there's a lot of pharmaceutical companies here. At these medical conferences where it's very focused on a particular specialty, like this one's gastroenterology, obviously it appeals to GI doctors looking for the latest publications of research. Talking about the 4 levels, if somebody's at a level 2 right now and they're a gastroenterologist and they want to pencil their own protocol to get to level 3, this is the place for them to go.
Why?
They could meet other researchers who are publishing articles. All that stuff we spent 10 minutes walking through this thing. All those papers they publish on the wall, those are all researchers. Sure. You can literally contact that person. Let's say they're not here today.
So it's more it's more than networking.
Yeah, you can contact that person and say, "Hey doctor, I read your paper. I'm fascinated. Obviously a lot more research needs to be done. Here's what I think we should do. Is there a way we can work on something?"
Right, collaborate.
Right. If you're not a physician, you got to take that more of an entrepreneurial standpoint, or let's say you just are an employee looking to work for another company. There's obviously different strategies. But for the physician, since this podcast is kind of revolving around physicians, I mean, we started it and we'll probably end it with that. I think that's the way to go.
Sure.
So what are you looking to get out of DIA, the next conference? So we're representing our CRO,
right?
But we're also going to be representing our other services we offer, because there might be sites there. I mean, we're not really there for the sites, but there might be other people there we can interact with. But primarily it's for the CRO. So we're looking for biotechs. We're looking for researchers, like mad scientist types.
Looking for a small researcher, right? Small sponsor that needs some help developing their product. I think. I mean, like I said, that and really how does this all come together for our conference?
Yes. So conferences are important. I think people should go. I think there is value. I don't necessarily think there's value in just mindlessly walking around the conference or the exhibitor hall and getting pens. I mean, I got a bag full of pens and water and more coffee than I can drink. But the real value is like in the networking, and it's going with a plan. Like if you go to these conferences, you get a list of everyone who's attending, and you can go with a purpose. Like, I want to go meet with these people from these companies and try to at least introduce what I'm trying to do. In the case of a level 2 physician or a level 1 physician, I want to get to the next level. I'm going to go look for strategic partners. They could be, if you're a job seeker, you can go with a similar kind of strategy.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I mean, that's really the only benefit. I mean, that's why the sponsors are here, right? To network.
That's right. And some of them have big booths, and I'm glad I won the trivia game with you. You owe me $1.
Yeah, you won by one question. Big deal.
And one day we'll be able to afford a big booth like that where we can get Jeopardy-style questions, but we're not there yet. We're getting the tiniest booth you can get, and we're sharing it with somebody.
Yep.
We're sharing it with another company that we're going to work very closely with. Much more info on this to come. Any other closing remarks?
Yeah, I'm watching the German Shepherd over here.
Yeah, I saw that one too. He's loose.
Yeah, somebody's throwing a Frisbee to it.
Okay, and I see my wife right there, so it's a good time to wrap up. Thank you, everybody, for listening, watching. Catch y'all later. Bye-bye.